Celebration Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey, and after going 2-10 last year, Rutgers feels that they have the pieces to change their fortunes this season. And the Scarlet Knights will find out quickly with 8th-ranked Washington right out of the gate. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Joel Cladden. Welcome to Piscataway, New Jersey, as Big Ten football debuts on FS1. The Washington Huskies are coming off a fantastic season 1 year ago. They finished the year ranked 4th in the nation, went to the college football playoff, and they returned their prolific junior quarterback, Jake Brown.
Boy, he was so good early last season. In the first 9 games a year ago, a lot of people would categorize, including myself, that he was in the lead for the Heisman Trophy. 10.3 yards per attempt down the field. He was so accurate. The receivers catching the ball in stride. They were so powerful on offense, and then he got banged up, hurt his shoulder, and he couldn't get the ball down the field. That yards per attempt dropped way down, and then the turnovers started to increase. First against USC in a regular season loss, and then ultimately against Alabama in that playoff loss. They think he's healthy, and he's going to return to that early season form we'll see here tonight.
Well, after last season, second-year coach Chris Ash said that his team didn't buy into his philosophy. Different feeling coming into this year. He has a number of graduate transfers on the team, most notably his QB.
And I think that's where the buy-in starts, is you get a veteran quarterback like Kyle Bolin, transfers in from Louisville, 58% at Louisville, about 2,100 yards and 13 touchdowns. But it's not his experience on the field. It's more his maturity off the field that is valuable for these Scarlet Knights. And there's going to be lots of new faces for this offense. Gus Edwards, he's a very good running back. They're expecting a lot out of him. He's a grad transfer from Miami. Damon Mitchell on the outside, and then Jerome Washington, a very good tight end, also a transfer from Miami.
It's time now to join the 3rd member of our team and the newest member of our team on the sideline, Jenny Taft.
Well, Gus, thanks. And you guys have mentioned the new faces for Rutgers. What about Janarian Grant? Yesterday, Coach Ash told us that he views Grant as a new player on this team. And that is because before he got hurt, he was their best player. And they really missed him last year. He broke his ankle week 4, missed the year, had to petition for that 5th year back. And guys, he's been limited in camp. He's only been full strength for the last 2 weeks. I had an opportunity to ask Grant how he was feeling about this year, what we should expect from him. He told me, expect a lot, expect a beast.
All right, thank you very much. As we take a look at the 4 keys to the game.
You know, for Washington, so much is going to be made of the players that they lost. Well, 2 or really 3 of those players were in the secondary, 3 draft picks in the 2nd round. And they've got to establish this young secondary, in particular at the corner position for Chris Peterson, their head coach. The guys that are going to do that are Jordan Miller and Byron Murphy. And then for Rutgers, Chris Ash has a very simple goal for this team. He wants to see them play with great effort, and he wants to see them play clean, i.e. don't beat yourself. No silly penalties and no turnovers. If they do those 2 things, he's going to walk into the locker room at the end of this game a happy man.
All right, a perfect night for football here in Piscataway, New Jersey. As we take a look at the weather, 65 degrees, 0 humidity, and we are currently in the birthplace of college football. Rutgers participated in the first intercollegiate football game, beating Princeton 6-4 in New Brunswick in 1869.
Apparently the spread tempo offense was not in vogue at that time.
Second time these 2 teams have faced each other. They squared off last year in the season opener in Seattle, with the Huskies winning at 48-13. Jake Browning threw 3 long touchdown passes, all in the first quarter. John Ross had 2 scores, receiving, and a 3rd on a kickoff return. Rutgers won the toss. They deferred. UW will receive. Chico McClatcher, a speedster, is back deep. And we're underway from Jersey. McClatcher from the goal line. And he's upended at the 20. Some hard hitting on special teams to start this game. As you can tell, the Rutgers excited to be on the field. So, Joel Klatt, what's the story?
For Washington, it's really about their run game. Myles Gaskin and Levon Coleman, very talented running backs, and this duo has different styles. Coleman a little more downhill, Gaskin on the outside. And then for Rutgers, Bless Austin is their best corner. The secondary is the strength of their defense. He was a guy that was second in the Big Ten with 15 pass breakups. He's going to have to play great tonight for them to stay with the Huskies.
Myles Gaskin starts the game. Second team preseason All-American by Sports Illustrated. And they'll give it to him running over the left side. Not a lot of room. Kevin Wilkins, the junior from Mahwah, New Jersey, with the tackle.
No idea how good the first snap feels, the first kickoff feels when you've been playing against your own team for 40 straight practices, spring ball, fall camp. Now finally an opportunity to hit a different color.
Jake Browning lines up in the shotgun. Remember, he had off-season shoulder surgery. They say he's 100%. And Levon Coleman checks in at running back. And they'll give it to him. Coleman looking for a hold across the 15 up to the 16. And Washington will have to punt it away. Dante Roberts again with the stick.
Well, what a great first series for that Rutgers defense, building some confidence, forcing the 8th ranked team in the country, team coming off a playoff appearance, backwards in their first series into a punt.
And the dangerous Janarian Grant missed the last 8 games a season ago with an ankle injury. But he's one of the most versatile offensive players in the nation. Joel Whiteford punts it away. End over end kick. Grant from the 39. Stumbles, crosses the 40 up to the 41. A 45-yard punt and a 3-yard return. Joe Klatt, what's the story with Chris Ash's team on offense?
Well, we already told you about all the new faces, but up front for them, they are thin and they are young. And this offensive line is going to have a huge test. They've got to hold up and give Kyle Bolin, their graduate transfer quarterback, a little bit of time, because the front 7 for Washington is the strength of that defense. They're trying to find young players in the secondary, but up front, Vita Vea and Greg Gaines, Keyshawn Bierria, it's a terrific defensive front 7.
So Kyle Bolin, the Louisville graduate transfer from Lexington, Kentucky, makes his first start at Rutgers. He was named the starter 2 weeks ago. According to his head coach, Kyle is a grown man. First down and 10 of the 41. And they'll run it on first down. Getting outside with some running room. Looks like that's Zach Allen. Make that Gus Edwards, excuse me. Running it over that left side, the Miami transfer. And they're really high on him.
Coach has said he gives them a chance. You can see that on the first run. A little speed, gets on the outside, and creates a more manageable second down situation.
Second down and 5 at the 46 after the 5-yard gain. Bolin to the far side. That ball caught. DeCoven Bailey managed to hang on, and it looks like Rutgers has their first down of the season.
I love the first 2 play calls. Get your back that you're expecting a lot of, a carry early in Gus Edwards, and then a quick throw for Kyle Bolin, not facing the rush. And the play call from new offensive coordinator Jerry Kill, back on the sidelines after a year off as an associate athletic director at Kansas State.
Former head coach at the University of Minnesota. First down and 10 of the 49. Raheem Blackshear lines up behind Bolin. Here's Blackshear running over the right side, cuts it up and has some room. Vita Vea making the tackle. But coming into this game, when we talked to Coach Kill yesterday, his main concern, he feels he's got some weapons when it comes to the specialty positions, but the offensive line.
And that offensive line, it's got to be led by their left guard, number 60, Dorian Miller. He's their best player up front. They're getting some good push here. Now it's the second straight second down that they've been in 5 or less to go.
Gain of 6. Second and 4 at the 43. Edwards bounces it outside, cuts it up, and crosses the 40. And he gets to the Washington 39. Looks like it's a first down.
Depend on that spot. He needed to really get to that 39. Plus he might be just about a foot short, half a yard short. Well, this is when you see exactly what you got up front. Can this young offensive line stand up against a very stout Washington defensive front seven and get a conversion on 3rd and short?
Rutgers needing about 6 inches on 3rd down at the Washington 40. Opening drive for the Scarlet Knights. Edwards, can he get there? And it looks like he can.
Good push up front. Winning at the line of scrimmage. Now watch on the left side of this offensive line. They're going to get the push necessary, the double team, and then right there just sheer power from Gus Edwards. A little help from the right tackle, Kamal Seymour, number 54. They're going to move the chains. What a good first series for both now the defense for Rutgers and now the offense for the Scarlet Knights.
First down and 10 at the Washington 38. Bowling to throw it underneath, caught at the 30-yard line, and this Rutgers team really moving it. Damon Mitchell with the reception, and he gains 8 yards on the play.
That's another one of those graduate transfers. He comes from Arkansas, the senior, 6'2", 213 pounds. This offense completely different in the personnel department on the skill positions from a year ago when they were one of the worst offenses in the entire country. And that has absolutely changed. You can see the talent level, Gus, far exceeds that of what the Scarlet Knights were a year ago.
Janarian Grant is the receiver in the slot at the bottom of your screen. And Bowling. Looks like they grabbed his face mask, and this will be a penalty against Washington. Jalen Johnson got in the backfield quickly.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 92. Automatic, face foul.
There's Jalen Johnson. He gets through quickly. Good move to the inside, but then just gets that paw out. Left hand right to the face mask, pulls him down. Excellent call by the official, and Rutgers now inside the red zone on their first possession.
First down and 10 at the Washington 15, opening series for Rutgers. Bowling to throw it, near side, caught. This time Mitchell gets close to the pylon, knocked out of bounds inside the 5 by JoJo McIntosh.
Well, I'm impressed with Kyle Boland so far. Ball is out of his hands quickly, and on every single throw that he's made, Gus, he's delivered an accurate pass, and the ability for the wide receiver to run after the catch. Look at that on the outside for Mitchell. He's able to turn, get the sideline, and get down inside the 5.
A 9-yard pickup, second down and 1 at the Washington 6. Edwards spinning, and he'll get the first down. Ben Burkervin coming up with the tackle.
But it's just so important to get those extra downs, because now play caller Jerry Kill for Rutgers has everything at his disposal. Ball's about at the 5-yard line. They can run play action pass. They can get Kyle Boland outside of the pocket. They can hand the ball off to Gus Edwards. Washington at this point has to defend everything.
This is the opening series for Rutgers. Boland 3 for 3 on the drive. First down and goal at the 5. Edwards skipping, and he'll lean down and get to the 3, maybe the 2.5. Vita Vea, the junior, coming up with the tackle inside. You surprised that the Scarlet Knights have been able to move the ball this well against Washington?
Well, candidly, Gus, I had no idea what to expect. You have a totally new play caller in Jerry Kill, and you've got 4 transfers and a guy back from injury. And I mean, this is a totally new offense, but yet very surprised with this first series.
Second down and goal at the 3. Edwards, the pistol back. Play fake. Boland looks, fires, incomplete. Ball intended for Max Anthony. the sophomore fullback, and that'll bring up 3rd down and goal.
As a quarterback, one of the hardest things to do is to roll to your right from the right hash down inside the 5, because Gus, there's no space whatsoever. It's so difficult to get any separation. That's what you saw in the last play. Good defense, but also very tough, precarious situation for Bolin there rolling to his right.
Raheem Blackshear, the freshman, lines up in the backfield. Now he goes in motion. Empty backfield for Bolin. Looking. Fires. Caught. Touchdown, Janarian Grant. And the Scarlet Knights march it right down the field on their opening drive and put up big. 6 points on the board against 8th-ranked Washington. Joel, that looked like a tough throw.
That was an incredibly tough throw. Miles Bryant, number 5, he breaks on the ball. I mean, there was no room. That was threaded through the head of a needle by Kyle Bolin. Excellent throw for the touchdown.
So Rutgers started the drive at the 41. The extra point by Andrew Harte is good. Chris Ash said last year his guys didn't buy into his philosophy. Well, if you look at the opening series, they're buying in. Rutgers going on an 11-play, 55-yard drive, eating up close to 6 minutes to take a 7-0 lead over Washington. Bolin 4 of 5 for 25 yards on the drive.
Boy, and he looked comfortable, didn't he? Operating that offense for Jerry Kill, the offensive coordinator, and head coach Chris Ash.
So Jake Browning will look to get his 2nd opportunity on the field. Chico McClatcher, the deep man for UW. He'll take a knee. 1st down and 10 at the 25. Gaskin in the backfield. Browning surveying underneath, and this one is caught. Pacelli with the reception, turns it upfield, and Andre Pacelli gains 11 yards on the play.
That's a really good route from Pacelli. Watch how he finds the open space, and he doesn't run into coverage. Once he finds that open space, he just sits there and gives his whole body, the whole numbers, his chest to his quarterback. Easy completion, moves the chains.
1st down and 10 at the 36. Levon Coleman in at running back. And they'll give it to Coleman. Looking, hops through the hole and gets close to the 40-yard line as Kevin Wilkins takes his legs out.
That defensive line has played well so far against the run of Washington here early in this ball game. Up front, they do have some beef. Wilkins runs 306 pounds, 6'2", from right here in New Jersey. Only started 1 game a year ago, but played in all 12 and makes a nice play there.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 at the 38. Coleman remains in the game. 2nd series for UW. Here's Coleman. And Coleman gets to the 40, another 2-yard pickup as Sebastian Joseph and Batiki combined on the tackle, the 2 interior linemen.
And another 3rd down opportunity here for Rutgers. Let's see if Jay Neiman, the defensive coordinator, and Chris Ash bring a little pressure and try to heat up Jake Browning here early in this game.
3rd and 6 at the 40. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Browning under pressure. Set. Loose. And Washington recovers it at the 25. But Darnell Davis shot out of a cannon.
Here he's going to come from the left side. Nobody blocks him. Just a total breakdown in protection. Browning wasn't expecting it, and he gets him right in the chest. I mean, what an amazing play for Rutgers on a 3rd down. Browning had no idea.
Textbook tackle. No targeting by Darnell Davis, the 5th-year senior from Union, New Jersey.
How he targeted below the head wraps up exactly what they're trying to get kids to do, and he does it perfectly.
Washington punts it away for the second time. This one's short. And fielded at the Rutgers 44-yard line. Scarlet Knights with terrific field position, the ball and the lead. With that touchdown, Rutgers snapped a streak of 12 straight quarters, entering the game without a point versus AP top teams. And this time, it's Robert Martin. And that must be a tremendous confidence.
Oh, huge. And confidence is everything. And as they get here in a second and short at the 50, with the way the game's going, I would dial up a deep pass here. Do something to stretch the field. Take a shot. You've got Janarian Grant. He's back. He's healthy. Number one comes to the bottom of your screen. He's going to be in the slot.
Rutgers has started with great field position on their first series from the 41. This one from the 44. Second and 4 at midfield. And they'll hand it off. And get inside Washington territory. Robert Martin, the senior from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, with the run. Jalen Johnson with the tackle.
It's a big third down here for Rutgers to try to stay on the field and retain some of this momentum. What the defense just created in the fashion which they created it. That momentum, the ball, you want to sustain that, stay on the field and move the sticks here.
Third down and 3 at the Husky 49. Here comes a blitz. Rutgers picks it up. And Martin can't hold on. Incomplete pass. And it looks like the Scarlet Knights will have to punt it away. Miles Bryant with the stick.
And a good play there from Miles Bryant. He got beat earlier on that touchdown from Janarian Grant. But this is one of the first passes from Kyle Bolin that has been on the inside. Not accurate on the outside, allowing the wide receiver to run after the catch. And Miles Bryant makes him pay, the sophomore from LA.
So there's Dante Pettis, senior from San Clemente, California. Second team all Pac-12 in 2016 when he caught 15 touchdown passes. 7th most in the nation. He's a dynamic punt returner. Lets that one take a bounce and get into the end zone. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Huskies. Browning to throw on first down. Looking. Delivers underneath. And he's got a receiver. Drew Sample, the junior tight end. And he's close to a first down. Gains about 9.5 as Saquon Hampton brings him down.
He had all kinds of time in the pocket. Browning did. That allowed Sample to come on that long crossing route, find some open space here, and create a second and short.
Myles Gaskin in the backfield. Back-to-back 1,300-yard seasons. They'll give it to him. Cuts it up and picks up the first down as he gets to the 34. He's got a great burst.
Yeah, I love his burst. You know, and you can tell, you see it right when he decides. When he makes that decision, boy, he's gone. You know, he picks a hole. He's going to go upfield. Gaskin puts that foot in the ground and he gets upfield. 2,600 rush yards through sophomore season. That's the most in UW history, and they've had some good ones up there in Seattle.
First down and 10 of the 35. Gaskin will come back into the backfield. Browning finds Gaskin in the flat. Trying to make the first man miss, and does as he gets to the 42 before being dragged down. Miles trying to join Chris Polk and Napoleon Kaufman as the only Huskies with 3 1,000-yard seasons.
See what type of an athlete he is there. Deontay Roberts was the defender, number 6, right in front of him. That's the best defender Rutgers has, and right outside of him.
Yvonne Coleman checking back in. Second and 4 at the 41. Pettis in motion. Browning with time. Throws deep. He's got a receiver. Caught! Pettis! A gain of 51. And Browning's shoulder looks to be fine.
That tight split by the wide receiver, you can always expect a deep route, and Gus, you are exactly right. That operation is working out perfect. Right in stride. Browning hits Pettis down the field.
First down and goal to the 8-yard line. Coleman barreling his way through, and he'll get to the 5. Julius Turner.
Exactly what Washington was able to do a year ago in the first quarter to Rutgers. They hit 4 big plays down the field, a couple to McClatcher. Pettis got in on the action, and there Pettis gets a step on the defense, and Browning was able to hit him in stride.
Remember, he had 15 touchdowns last season, 7th in the nation. Gaskin back in. 2nd and goal at the 6. Browning, that one deflected at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. As Hester, looks like he got a hand on the football.
Yeah, I thought there was a little contact early here. Watch Saquon Hampton, number 9. Watch the contact right there. I mean, he puts his hands all over him, stops the route, but it was the batted pass that allowed the flag not to come out. So a little fortunate bounce there for Rutgers that they get the tip ball, and there's no pass interference.
3rd down, goal at the 6. Browning off his back foot. Incomplete. No flag. Kai Hester knocking that out of Chico McClatcher's hands.
Hester, number 2, in man coverage, breaks on the route perfectly. Difficult to see what happened as they went to the ground, and Browning was frustrated because he didn't put enough zip on the ball. There wasn't enough velocity. He tried to lay that one out there in front of McClatcher, but when you're inside the 10-yard line, the ball has to be driven on the frame of the wide receiver.
This one from about 24 yards away. And it's good. Washington on the board. 7-3. 56 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Chris Ash saying this is a different football team than what we had last year. Different players, different coaches. We'll probably start 11 new players from who started this same game a year ago. And his team coming up with a huge stop to keep Washington out of the end zone for 6.
Yeah, that was a huge win for Rutgers, in particular after the big play down the field to Pettis, setting them up 1st and goal. They're able to hold Washington to a field goal. That's just a huge win for that defense.
Vizcaino sends it away. Janarian Grant, he'll get a shot from the 14. And Grant crosses the 25, gets up to the 27 before being taken down. Bowen handing it off to Edwards. Not a lot of room up front. Onzarike coming up with the tackle, and that could take us to the end of the first quarter.
We're going to have to snap it at least one more time here, but I'm pretty surprised they haven't tried to attack the young corners from Washington. We haven't seen them take a shot down the field or even attack things outside the numbers. Maybe they do it here.
2nd and 13 after the 2-yard gain. Bowling over the middle, caught at the 30-yard line. Griffin Stewart with the reception.
I would take this right to the corner. If I was Kyle Bolin and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, that's a heck of a first quarter for the graduate transfer and his teammates with the lead over the number 8 team in the country.
7-3 Rutgers leading at home. Back for the second quarter right after this. Start of the second quarter, Scarlet Knights with a 7-3 lead over Washington, the 8th-ranked team in the nation. So far, the graduate transfer from Louisville, Kyle Bolin, is off to a good start. He's 5 of 7 for 30 yards and a touchdown. Throwing down here, faced with a 3rd down and 8. Bowling looking under pressure. Underneath and intercepted. This one picked off. Murphy. And he'll be taken down deep in Rutgers territory. Byron Murphy, the redshirt freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Well, it was all created by the pressure up front. The pressure is going to force Bolin to leave the pocket to his right. That's Vita Vea right at his feet, and then he makes a really poor decision. He forces the ball back across the middle, across his body, to a receiver that wasn't quite open, and Byron Murphy, redshirt freshman. This guy was the #1 player, defensive back out of Arizona a couple of years ago, and a corner that they were really desperately wanting to make a play in this game so that he can gain confidence and try to replace one of those excellent NFL corners that they had a year ago.
First down and 10 at the Rutgers 37 for Browning. He'll throw it. Steps up in the pocket. Delivers on the move. And incomplete. Dangerous throw. Aaron Fuller, the intended receiver. Saquon Hampton in the vicinity.
I thought it was a great no call because Fuller hits the ground there, and Browning wanted a flag, but really the contact was just the feet getting tangled up with one another, and that's why Fuller went to the ground.
Second and 10. Browning on the play fake. Dumps it off to Coleman in space, and Lavon Coleman gets a football to the 43-yard line. Isaiah Wharton defensively for the Scarlet Knights.
Here's that coverage that you're seeing, straight man-to-man. The eyes of the Rutgers defensive backs are just all over the wide receivers. When they're playing that coverage, Gus, that means that you've got one more run defender than Washington can block, and that's why Washington's having a hard time running the ball right now.
UW 0 for 3 on third down conversions. 3rd and 16 at the 43. They need to go to the Rutgers 27 for first down. Browning steps up, hit as he throws, incomplete. And the Scarlet Knights will get off the field once again. Wellington Prevalon with pressure on Browning.
Boy, that front seven is doing a heck of a job. Kamoko Toure was in there. Prevalon was in there. Browning just could not get his feet set to put anything on that pass, and it floated innocently to the ground.
Joe Whiteford will send it away. Janarian Grant stands at his own 10-yard line. Now he'll back it up. Whiteford from the 42, angling it toward the near side. Takes a bounce, dies at the goal line. Great coverage, terrific punt. Rutgers backed up deep. This team playing with an Ohio State-type passion right now. 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. Edwards, and he's lucky to get out of the end zone. But remember, the last time they were backed up on the 1, they got the ball out to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, and it was first down in that series that Edwards almost was stopped for a safety then and got himself out of the end zone, and it almost happened right here again. And just his second effort is what's keeping Rutgers alive there and keeping the ball out of the end zone. Again, this is where a hard cadence has to come into play for a quarterback. You've got to be able to get some free yardage for your offensive line.
Second down and 11 at the 1. Another handoff to Edwards. Going to get out of there, yes, but barely. Right back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
You know, looking down ahead, the last thing you want to do is kick it to a guy like Dante Pettis, who's got the pedigree that he does returning punts for touchdowns when you're punting from heels against the end of the end zone and the back of the end zone, because all you can do is worry about the protection at that point. They have got to get some positive yardage here, or else Pettis is going to have a great opportunity on this next punt return.
Third down and long. Bowman. And once again, the Rutgers offense stuffed, and they'll have to punt it away. Connor O'Brien defensively for Washington, and that'll bring on the dangerous Dante Pettis.
Because this is why this situation is so dangerous. It's because you have to worry about protection here.
5 career punt returns in his career, including one against Rutgers last season. He was second-team All-America as a punt returner in 2015. And boy, did he have a big one against Utah last season. Anderson gets it away. Very good kick. Drives Pettis back. Bobbled it. Picked it up inside the 40. And whoa! Pettis! Zoom, zoom. Touchdown, Washington. Again, 61-yard punt return for a touchdown.
All set up by the defense, Gus, stopping them on 3rd down, making sure that punt was coming from the back of the end zone. They set up the return, and Dante Pettis, his decisiveness as a returner is his greatest attribute. He picks a hole, he takes off, and finds himself into the end zone.
The Huskies take a 10-7 lead, and that'll take us to the end of the first half. Washington a little sluggish offensively, but Dante Pettis with the huge 61-yard punt return for a touchdown, and the Huskies head into the locker room with a 10-7 lead, but Rutgers will take this result for right now.
No question about it. 2 objectives from Chris Ash going into this game. He wanted his players first and foremost to play with great effort. Well, they've done that so far here in this first half.
Rutgers will get the ball to start the second half. Let's go downstairs to Jenny.
All right, Coach, you told us you wanted to see some fight from this team. What did they show you in the first half?
Well, I'm really happy about how we played on offense and defense. Kicking game killed us, gave up a non-offensive touchdown that we can't have happen. But really happy with the way our guys have overcome some bad field position and some situations, especially on defense. So we got another half of football to go. We got to play better.
Great, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, it's halftime here at High Point Solutions Stadium with the score Washington 10, Rutgers 7. Right now, let's go to Rob Stone in Los Angeles. And welcome back to Piscataway, New Jersey. We're ready to start the second half with Washington leading Rutgers 10-7. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt. Joel, I am really impressed with the way this Rutgers team played in the first half. They made some mistakes, but that front 7, they got it done.
The defense was sensational. They stopped the run, and they were able to get pressure on Jake Browning. Browning was never able to get comfortable the entire first half. Only 16 rush yards, 81 pass yards for Washington. The Scarlet Knights, folks, 11 first downs to 3, and look at that time of possession. Rutgers holding the ball for 20.5 minutes. They've been sensational. Haven't allowed a 3rd down conversion either.
Rutgers won the opening toss, deferred, so they will get the ball to start the second half. Let's see if Janarian Grant, their dangerous, versatile return man, can make something happen for the Scarlet Knights. Vizcaino will kick it off. 10-7. And the second half is underway. Grant from the 12. Still moving. Crosses the 430 and gets up to the 35-yard line before being taken down. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Taft.
Well, what does Coach Peterson want to see in the second half? He told me it's all about finding a rhythm. We didn't have any of that in the first half. I also asked him about Jake Browning. He said Jake's been fine. It's all about the O-line. They need to be better for him. And Joel, you highlighted Dante Pettis. Peterson said he is always a bright spot for us, but we're going to need to see a lot more from him in the second.
Bowling, near side. Grant, can he make the catch? Yes, he can. And he finally goes down. Murphy coming in to clean it up, along with Bryant.
Boy, long throw there from Bolin all the way across the field. Far hash, then to outside the numbers. Seemed like it just took forever, but he was fortunate enough to get it to Grant for the completion.
A 4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6. Opening series for Rutgers to start the second half. They scored on their opening drive of the game.
This is that formation they were using at the end of the half very successfully to run the ball in the middle.
Edwards breaks it back, slides forward, and he'll spin down and get close to that first down. When we talked to Coach Kill yesterday, he said, without question, Augustus Edwards will be an NFL player.
Well, you can see that because this offensive line isn't dominant, and yet he's still finding ways to gain yardage. Gus Edwards has been really good so far tonight.
3rd down and 1. Can he get the first down? And doesn't look like he'll get it. Then Burkervin again defensively.
Burkervin, nice tackle, and Greg Gaines also big number 99.
So it looks like Rutgers is thinking about going for it.
Now they'll send the punt team on. That's when it's, I mean, it's so enticing when you cross the 50. You got a good series going. To put the punt team out there, it's very frustrating, but I think this is a good decision, in particular with the way the Rutgers defense is played.
Dante Pettis back at his own 6. End over end kick, popped high in the air. And Pettis fields it at the 17. A 26-yard punt coming up. Jake Browning and the Huskies on offense for the first time in the second half. Right after this. Welcome back. 10-7 as Jake Browning and the Huskies come back on the field. Browning had an interesting offseason. He studied Drew Brees and his precise passing and footwork this summer, and attended the Manning Passing Academy in Louisiana. And Peyton Manning gave him some great advice. First down and 10 at the 17. Browning to throw on first down to the sideline and caught out of bounds. That's Pettis. What Manning said to him, he said, you want to prepare, but there's definitely a line you don't want to cross in terms of over-preparing and thinking too much. Manning told him there's a lot of smart D coordinators out there, so don't try to outsmart them, just operate with more precision.
Such an interesting comment from Peyton Manning, who we've always thought was the ultimate in just trying to outsmart everybody that he plays. Interesting advice and sound advice for young Jake Browning.
First down and 10 at the 27. Browning in trouble. Now Browning scrambling out of the pocket, stays on his feet and gets rid of it. Incomplete. Now you are a well-prepared quarterback when you played at Colorado. Obviously, Peyton Manning was a very well-prepared quarterback. What does it mean when you say don't over-prepare?
Well, there's a term in quarterback circles and in the quarterback room that says don't go chasing ghosts. You know, you try to eliminate the what-ifs. Well, what if they did this? What if they ran that coverage with this front? That's chasing a ghost. And that's what he means about over-preparing and trying to find something that's not there.
The Rutgers defense ghosts in the building so far for Browning, and this one is incomplete. He threw that one into a crowd. Chico McClatcher, the intended receiver, but Saquon Hampton, who's been playing lights out tonight, breaks it up.
Well, we have not seen Washington convert on 3rd down all night long. 0 for 5, in large part because it's been in situations like this, 3rd and long. They have not been able to protect Jake Browning in these situations. I expect Jay Neiman, defensive coordinator for Rutgers, to send a blitz here at Browning.
3rd and 10 at the 27. Browning. Deep drop, throws, flag on the play. Pettis goes up high, makes the catch. But let's see. It'll be a 24-yard gain and a first down if it stands.
You know, there was some contact between Pettis and the defensive back early. I think it's going to go against Rutgers.
Holding. Defense number 10. Penalties of time. Result of the play. First down.
And those are a couple of really good players fighting it out down the field. Blasson Austin, the junior, honorable mention All Big Ten a year ago. Solid 2-year starter, but just reached out and kind of grabbed Dante Pettis.
Washington with the football, first down and 10 to the Rutgers 49. Yvonne Coleman, the single setback. Playful. Browning dumps it off. Sample. All kinds of running room. Still on its feet. Cuts it inside. And Sample down inside the Rutgers 20-yard line. A 31-yard gain.
I love the play call. It's a great job by Washington there, and Drew Sample selling the run, slipping out into the flat, getting a big play from his quarterback.
Huskies quickly to the line of scrimmage, trying to change the tempo a bit. Coleman running. And he'll dive forward and pick up 7.5, 8. He said they had no rhythm, Chris Peterson, about his team in the first half.
Well, they're establishing that rhythm right now after that long completion. Now a successful run on first down.
Coleman again, this time running right, picking his way to get a first down. As Trevor Morris makes the tackle.
You know, people like to talk about rhythm with the skill position players. I think rhythm is established by the offensive line.
And Browning in the corner, open. Touchdown, Huskies. Levon Coleman out of the backfield. And he walks into the end zone. 16-7.
Rutgers has a missed assignment, and Browning takes advantage. Coleman just runs a swing route out of the backfield, and no one went with him. The linebacker, who was supposed to be in man coverage, totally missed his assignment, and that's an easy 6.
Vizcaino in for the extra point. And it's good. 10-play drive covering 83 yards. Huskies score in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. (17-7). Huskies with the lead as Browning throws the touchdown to Levon Coleman out of the backfield. And Jenny Tabb told us after talking to Coach Peterson at halftime that they wanted to find a rhythm, and they found it.
They were able to do that by getting that first play action pass. Remember, they got Drew Sample out into the flat, got a big play, established a little bit of a rhythm, and really it was that blown assignment by Rutgers that allows Washington to get their second touchdown of the night.
Vizcaino ready to send it away. Grant back deep. This one fair caught at the 23. And he'll stay on the ground with Martin. Self-inflicted wounds, I guess is what you're saying.
That's right. He had a great comment, and a lot of coaches around the country will tell you this and have this sentiment, that games, for the most part, are generally lost and not won. And what he wants to do is make sure that Rutgers is a team that doesn't go out there and actively lose the football game. And once he can turn that corner, then you can start talking about making the plays to win football games.
Blackshear will run it, and he won't get the first down. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Potoa'e once again defensively for the Huskies.
You know, Raheem Blackshear is 5'9", 185-pound true freshman. And if I am going to run the ball on second and short, it's to make sure I'm getting the first down. I don't know if I give the ball to a 5'9", 185-pound true freshman at that point.
So it remains 3rd down and 2. Martin in at running back. They give it to him. And he won't get it. Or will he? Second effort? Maybe, depending on the spot.
He needs to get basically to the 44.5, and it doesn't look like he's going to get it. He's probably about 4 or 5 inches short of this based on where they spot the football, and they're going to go ahead and punt this. That is a disappointing series for Rutgers. They've played so hard and so well tonight. And to have second and short and just hand the ball off twice and then punt it, that's a bit demoralizing right there.
So the Scarlet Knights send it away. Dante Pettis has already returned 1 punt for a touchdown. He won't get an opportunity here. First down and 10 to the 15. Browning over the middle. McClatcher with the grab. Tries to turn on the Jets and gets to the 30. A 15-yard gain. Deontay Roberts with the tackle.
You know, if someone's just at home and maybe flipping between channels and they see Washington takes the lead and they think to themselves, hey, this might just be a Ohio State, Indiana type of thing. I don't think that it's been that way. It's been a few mistakes from Rutgers that has even allowed Washington to hold this lead. Washington has not driven the ball the length of the field all night long. Let's see if they can do it here.
Here's Browning. Up the sideline. And it's a catch. Gaskin. Great concentration to gain 28 yards.
Wow, that's a great ball from Browning. And Gaskin, a running back out of the backfield, is able to go up with the concentration with Morris right in his face. Good coverage by Trevor Morris. Better catch, though.
Browning again. This time he'll fire it over the middle, and it's a catch. Now this Washington team starting to move and groove a bit. This time it's Linnaeus for a 15-yard pickup.
And the tempo is starting fast.
Gaskin with room. Gaskin first down and more inside the 10.
Well, without a doubt, this is the most impressive series that we've seen from Washington, and it's really started with a great play from Gaskin and then some more quality running here from number 9 as well.
First and goal of the 9. Gaskin trying to find a crease, and he does, and he'll get it to the 5-yard line. But prior to that play, last 4 plays, gains of 15, 28, 15, and 17 yards.
Gaskin, 1,300 yards a year ago. He's an incredible back. Washington starting to pick up that total yardage mark, but they've struggled down here inside the 10. They had to throw it to Gaskin out of the backfield in the last series, and they're in a similar set now. Watch Gaskin out of the backfield onto the left side here.
Second and goal at the 5. Browning throws the fade in the corner for Pettis. Whoa! Incomplete. He almost brought that one down.
Wow. There was a lot of contact. Pettis thought that he even corralled that after he went to the ground. It didn't hit the ground. It's just a matter of if he gained control before his right foot hit out of bounds. No, it didn't. He was still bobbling it at the time. That's a great call by the official right there. But boy, a lot of contact early. See that left hand? That left hand from Blasson Austin's holding Pettis' arm. That could have drawn a flag.
Browning. Incomplete. He had an open receiver as Bocelli broke open late, but that ball thrown just a tad high.
Yeah, Browning has just been off all night long, whether it's been the pressure being applied by Rutgers or the fact that he's choosing the wrong throw at times. Gus, when you're inside the 10, that ball has got to be driven onto the frame of the wide receiver. You can't lob the ball inside the 10, in particular on a crossing route. Browning has got to know better than that and execute better when he's inside the 10.
Vizcaino in to attempt a 23-yard field goal. And it's good. So the Huskies will take the 3 points, and with 2:45 to go in the third, Washington up 20-7.
Jake Browning and the Washington Huskies take the 20-7 lead, but it's been anything but easy for Browning, who had a sensational first 9 games a year ago. But tonight, you know, decision making at the quarterback position is not just where you're throwing the football, but how you're throwing the football. There's driving the football onto the frame of the wide receiver, Gus. There's throwing the ball deep with touch, and there's also that layered ball kind of in front of the safeties over the linebackers. I felt like his decision making in terms of the way he's throwing it has been off tonight.
So you're saying on that last pass, he has to, when you say drive the ball, you mean rip it?
Rip it. You got to throw a fastball right onto the chest of the wide receiver.
First down and 10. Edwards. They string it out nicely, but he makes a nice move to pick up some positive yardage in front of Vita Vea. And it's a 4-yard gain.
The way that you can mix in now a play call is use the ability to run the football to your advantage. I would keep Gus Edwards in the game, which looks like he's going to come off and get a breather. But then this is where you play action pass and get your quarterback outside of the pocket. Try to change what's called the launch point for the quarterback and get him outside where he can read the wide receivers down the field.
Edwards, 19 carries, 60 yards. 2nd and 6 from the 42. Martin now in at tailback. Washington showing blitz. Now they back off. Here they come. Bowling in the flats. That one thrown high. brought down by Martin, but he won't get back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll actually lose a yard on the play as Miles Bryant comes up with the open field tackle.
I've been really impressed with Miles Bryant, number 5 for Washington tonight. He's just a sophomore, 5'8", only 180 pounds, but he's been playing that nickel position that we saw Budda Baker play a year ago. Budda was undersized, and obviously he was a tremendous asset and affected the game, but Bryant has done a great job tonight. He's the corner, the top of your screen in the slot.
3rd down and 7 at the 41. Budda Baker, 2nd round pick. Now Bolin looking, and picked off just like that. Murphy out of bounds, his 2nd pick of the day, and I'm sure his uncle Mike Bibby is really happy, the former NBA star.
Well, there have been some objectives met for Washington in finding young players in the secondary that are ready for this stage and ready to be great players. I feel like has been achieved. Miles Bryant has played great. He was the one in coverage on man coverage where Bolin was trying to throw the ball, and then playing almost a pseudo safety position. Byron Murphy with his 2nd interception of the night. Have a day, young fella, the redshirt freshman picking off Kyle Bolin.
The Huskies led FBS in takeaways with 33 last year. 1st and 10. And Browning under all sorts of pressure. Just has to flip that one out of his hands. Sebastian Joseph, Kevin Wilkins getting into the backfield.
He was really lucky that McClatcher was even in the vicinity of that. Really, it was a shovel pass. I mean, that was just a desperate attempt to get the ball out of his hands. And Chico McClatcher was in the area, number 6, and Browning lives to snap it on 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Closing moments of the 3rd quarter. Browning surveys, drops it off. Gaskin makes a first man miss, picks up a 1st down, and drives all the way inside the Rutgers 20 for a 21-yard gain.
When the play has been sluggish, sometimes you need playmakers to just go out there and make plays. Dante Pettis did it in the 1st half with a punt return, and Miles Gaskin, Gus, has done that so far here in the 2nd half. What a great catch and run from number 9.
Coming up, we'll start the 4th quarter as the stars for the Washington Huskies are finally starting to play. Back after this. Huskies accounting for 184 yards in the 3rd quarter. Only 58 for Rutgers. What's been the big difference in what we see with this Washington team here in the 2nd half?
I think the athletes are making plays. You know, guys like Gaskin are making plays, and Drew Sample got loose for a nice gain, and then the defense has really come to play, and they've locked him down in the secondary.
Browning hit as he throws. And touchdown. Wow, Miles Gaskin. What a throw by Jake Browning. He hung in there to the very last second.
That is the toughest thing to do as a quarterback, is stare down the barrel of a blitz, know you're going to get drilled right in the chest, and still deliver a strike down the field. That was a beautifully thrown ball.
Wow.
The touch pass has not been a problem. Jonathan Stewart, or excuse me, Sebastian Joseph was the one that had the pressure on Browning, but boy, what a throw. Goodness gracious.
What a catch by Gaskin to get both feet down. Gaskin, 4 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown now. Extra point is good. So the Huskies starting to turn it on now. As you mentioned, Joe, their stars are stepping up. Browning, Gaskin.
Hashtag coaching.
That's right. Well, players. And here come the Scarlet Knights. They'll start around the 30-yard line. 1st down and 10 of the 29. Well set. Play fake. Bolin. Oh. He's already thrown 2 picks in this game. Came close to giving away another one.
I mean, how about this secondary? You talk about playing with confidence. Here's number 5, Miles Bryant, and he just breaks on the route right away, identifying what's going on and then reacting to it, and it goes right through his hands. Probably because it was tipped there. That's right.
Ryan Bowman.
Yeah, Ryan Bowman got his hand on. That's another redshirt freshman. How about these youngsters on the Husky defense?
2nd down and 10 at the 29. Edwards. And he'll get to the 35, maybe the 36, before being wrestled down. Onzarike and Turner.
And I talked about 3 big questions if you were a Washington fan going into the season. How's Jake Browning's health? Can you find secondary players that are going to fill in for the departed NFL talent? And then can you establish a number 2 wide receiver target? We haven't really seen that wide receiver target, although Gaskin out of the backfield has been pretty good. But we have seen some stars emerge here on the defensive side in the young secondary.
3rd and 4. Bowman. And he drove that football over the middle. Jerome Washington with the catch and the 1st down for Rutgers.
That's exactly how you have to throw that ball. You're throwing the ball over the middle on a crossing route, in particular to the tight end. You've got to drive it onto the frame, and he does that to Jerome Washington. Excellent ball there from Kyle Bolin. Moves the chains and keeps this drive alive for Rutgers.
1st down and 10 at the 46. Edwards again with running room, and he's finally chopped down at the 44, but he's close to a 1st down. Taylor Rapp threw himself under the chariot and made the tackle.
You know, on the Rutgers fan side, let's say you're answering questions for the Rutgers team, okay? The question was, what are these new faces going to do? All the transfers, Janarian Grant back off of injury, Chris Ash hiring Jerry Kill as an offensive coordinator. I've got to be very pleased, because those questions are that this is a much improved team from what we saw a year ago. Drastic improvement in the talent.
2nd and 1. Edwards. And he picks up the 1st down.
In particular, this guy.
He's a bruiser. Gus Edwards. And Edwards putting up some very good numbers. 21 carries, 72 yards. He's averaging 3.4 yards per carry with a long of 13 yards.
He's got that perfect combination of vision and elusiveness in tight spaces, and yet he does have that thunder of being a physical back as well.
Edwards running right this time. And I thought Coach Kill was interesting when we talked to him yesterday. He said, you know what, my offensive line is experienced, so Gus is going to have to make them better.
Coaches will say, in particular offensive coordinators or running backs coaches, they'll say it's going to be a BYOB day for the running back. I know everyone thinks they know what that means, but I'm telling you, it means be your own blocker. And sometimes that's what a running back has to do, and that's what Gus has done at times here tonight.
Gus has always made people better, Joe. 2nd down.
I can attest to that.
As he will barrel through, pick up a couple. This time it's Robert Martin.
I wish I was videotaping with my cell phone when we sat down with Gus yesterday, because you said, Gus, what's going on? And he said, yeah, and I'm an Augustus, and your eyes. I mean, they were like pizza saucers. You were so excited. Me too. And then he says, you know, I have a 7-month-old son. His name's Gus Augustus
Jr.
Oh, that's so great.
Martin. And he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Not a 1st down. 11:04 and counting. Brings up 4th and 3, and looks like the Scarlet Knights will go for it.
Yeah, if there's any chance whatsoever, you're going to have to go for it. So, going to keep the offense on the field. And it's going to be Kyle Bolin trying to make a play. Every time that they've really needed a play, in particular in the passing game, they've gone to Jerome Washington, the tight end.
4th down and 3. Bolin Looking in the end zone. That one thrown a bit high, but caught. Bailey, touchdown, Rutgers. DeCoven Bailey, the sophomore from Pilot Point, Texas.
And the mistimed jump there from Washington. That's Keith Taylor, number 27, a true freshman from Long Beach. Gets beat. Bailey right there, and he actually is down just a hair shy of that goal line. We'll see if they catch this before the snap of the PAT.
Extra point is up and good.
Wow, I can't believe they didn't catch that. That was pretty obvious, but great execution by Bailey. Goes upstairs, brings it down. Still a ball game here in Piscataway.
Scarlet Knights with a big touchdown from DeCoven Bailey to make this a 27-14 game. So Washington ready to return it. 27-14 our score. And the Huskies will start inside their own 10 with McClatchy. And a flag on the play. First down and 10 at the 12 for Washington. Jake Browning goes through his progressions, now throws on the move, and it's caught by Sample again. The last time he caught the ball, it was for 31 yards, now 23. First down and 10 at the 46. Gaskin gets through the hole and picks up a first. Wharton with the tackle. Miles Gaskin picking up a huge chunk once again. 5 carries, 40 yards. He gained 12 there.
And that time, that offensive line opened up a huge hole for Gaskin. And then they asserted themselves. And Gaskin has gotten a little bit of a rhythm going in this second half. There's number 56, Big Nick Harris. Played as a true freshman a year ago, now a sophomore from Inglewood, California.
First down and 10 at the 43. Gaskin. And he picks up 4. Kevin Wilkins making the tackle. 7:37 to play, fourth quarter.
Here's Harris at his guard position. He's going to come out and he's going to pull to the left side. It's a great block on the end. That's what sets the hole. And Gaskin is reading that block. If he sees the back of his lineman, which he did there, that's when he cuts it back inside, tries to find yards in the middle of the field.
2nd and 6. Gaskin slicing. Gaskin still on his feet and finally taken down at the 23. A 14-yard gain. Trevor Morris, Kamoko Toure combining on the tackle.
Yeah, here's this offensive line now. Now they're getting a rhythm. You see that every single red jersey is being blocked up front. And Gaskin with the decisive choice of hole. He finds it and explodes through it with some speed. And that running game has finally got some juice going to it here late in this game.
First down and 10 at the 24. Levon Coleman back in. And Coleman. And he is ambushed before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Kamoko Toure.
Kamoko Toure, he was kind of confused for a second, then all of a sudden there he is, gets in there. Excellent pass rusher. Back in 2014, he was actually a freshman All-American and honorable mention All-Big Ten, but he's dealt with some injuries and other issues and finds himself now back onto the field as a senior, 6'5", 252 pounds.
Second down and 14 at the 28. Browning, quick strike, near side. And this time, it's Hunter Bryant with the reception, and he picks up 4.
They've kept Pettis pretty quiet all night outside of that one long play early in the game. This is one of those times, 3rd and 10. Get the sense that you're going to have to find one of those wide receivers to step up, be a solid number 2 behind Dante Pettis.
3rd down, 10 of the 24. Here's Browning. Delivers, incomplete. Looks like some miscommunication between quarterback and receiver there.
I thought Aaron Fuller, the wide receiver, fell down, and Browning again was asking for a flag, but you see he just stumbled. I mean, he wasn't even contacted there. That was 58 Kamoko Toure from his outside linebacker spot. Browning thought that there should be something there, maybe looking for a little laundry on the ground, but his wide receiver, young Aaron Fuller, just stumbled.
Tristan Vizcaino into attempt a 42-yarder. He's been good from 24 and 23 yards today. Beautiful draw and good. Looked like your golf shot right there, Joe Klatt. Perfect. Vizcaino nails it. Washington adding to their totals.
Not my golf shot if it's perfect.
Washington has scored on all 4 possessions in the second half. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
I talked about recruiting earlier. You know, programs are built on recruiting. Well, football games are generally won with adjustments. We've seen some great second half adjustments tonight, guys.
Here's Grant from the 20. And Grant all the way up to the 40-yard line. 1st down and 10 of the 31. Bowles gone the whole way. That one deflected at the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
You know, you might be wondering why in the world would a starter be in with a minute left, but remember, he's a graduate transfer. The offensive line's not necessarily used to him. The play caller's not used to him. Every rep is important for Rutgers, whether it's in the last minute of a game in which they're down 30-14, or it's the first series of the game. They're going to be learning things about the system, and about their tempo, and about the schematics of what they're trying to achieve each and every time they snap it.
Second down and 10. Bowman dancing around in the pocket, throws on the move, incomplete. .54 seconds remaining. And the Huskies will head back to Seattle. They didn't play their best game, but doing enough, especially in the second half, to win it. And this ball caught on the near side. Damon Mitchell with a 21-yard gain.
Yeah, that was an impressive throw there. Far hash, then outside the numbers and down the field. It's pretty good from Kyle Bolden.
You get the feeling that Coach Kill is eventually going to have to open it up a little bit for this graduate transfer starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think they were nervous about that defensive line for Washington, if they could block them and protect. When they're more evenly matched on that offensive and defensive line, I think that they'll be able to take more shots down the field.
Here's Bolden over the middle. That'll take us inside 40 seconds.
Partner, isn't it just good to have college football
Oh, my
back?
goodness. Good to see these young men out here playing for their schools, and for their teammates, for their families. 2nd and 5. Bolden. And he falls down at the 45. And that is the, I believe, first sack of the game for Washington.
I think they should probably give it to the field because it looked more like a trip, but Washington will take it and put it in their stat sheet.
And that's it. The Huskies come into Piscataway and defeat Rutgers 30-14 to win their season opener. Coach Ash, though, a lot of positives in this game for his team. Certainly some things to build on.
Some things to fix if you're Washington. You know your stars are good. Got to figure some things out up front. Get better play out of the offensive line for the entirety of the game. But yes, very positive night for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
And I'm going to say this. The offensive line may have not looked as good as you thought they should have looked, but the front seven for Rutgers was better than you thought.
That's right. They were. They were. And that front seven is going to cause some havoc at points this year for Rutgers.
Let's go down to Jenny.
Well, Coach, I know you've said that there are no higher expectations for this team than what you guys put on yourself. So what is your take on the performance?
Well, I thought we got a ways to go. I mean, I've been saying that all along. It's a new team, a different team. We got new guys in there, and you know, now it's time to go to work. You know, Rutgers did a nice job, and thought they were physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And we got to play harder and better.
You lost 2 cornerbacks to the NFL. You knew you'd have some question marks about that secondary. So how did those young guys impress you?
Yeah, those guys will be fine. You know, Byron Murphy did a nice job, and he's got great ball skills. You know, we got to get more physical up front, and we will.
I know you mentioned that Browning in the first half was fine. You just need more from the O-line. Did they make that improvement for you?
Well, we'll put the tape on to nitpick here, so got to go back and we'll look at it and go back to work.
All right, thanks for the time.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
All right, thank you. Jake Browning, 2 touchdown passes tonight. Pettis with a punt return for a touchdown. Gaskin, 61 yards rushing, 79 yards receiving. 30-14 the final. Huskies defeat the Scarlet Knights. For Joe Klatt, Ginny Taff, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long from Piscataway. Now let's go to Rob Stone in the studio for more post-game coverage.